these stories to Bernie. Bernie and I were both lyricists. We had a ball writing that album because it was just, I just keep telling about these people. We wrote songs about each one of them. And then, Welcome to My Nightmare was my first solo album. And that album was, I had to do something that was really over the top theatrical. A little kid that can't wake up from a nightmare. Well, that's gonna be a great stage show, 30 albums, it'd be hard to pick my favorite one. I think if you're an artist, and right now what's going on now is everybody's retiring, right? Elton's retiring, this guy's retiring, that guy's retiring. If you think you've written your best song, you should retire. If you think you've done your best show, you should get out of the business, because you've done it. I don't think Paul McCartney thinks he's written his best song yet. I don't think I've written my best song or done my best show yet. So I'm gonna just keep going on because I'm inspired by that. If I did think I was done, I'm just paddling the water out here if I'm not gonna give you something that I think is gonna be better than the last thing. So that's what inspires you.
And life experience, the institution, whatever you go through, that adds flavor and
there'll be a nuclear island song coming.
Oh yeah, tell us about, I learned about this backstage, but I want you to share with everyone here.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Hawaii, in paradise, and I'm playing golf, and it's great. It's like 85 degrees, it's wonderful. And I look at my card, and there's the thing, it tells you how far you are from the hole, and it says, Eminent Ballistic Missile. And I'm thinking, right there, those two words in one sentence is not good. On and on and on, take cover, not a drill. Oh. And for a second it freezes you, and you go, oh, come on. That can't be right. You're in Hawaii. Who's gonna bomb Hawaii? Wait a minute, that's happened before.
Pretty much.
But you're thinking, is this guy gonna really waste a nuke on Honolulu when he knows he's gonna be blown off the map in a half an hour? And so it started, my clinical mind started working, going, where are the sirens? There's no sirens. And none of it made sense. But it says you have 18 minutes. We're gonna hide on a golf course. And I went, well, I can get 2 holes in. Because that's how golfers think. And then it comes up all clear. And what had happened was, I guess the guy that runs this thing walked in from lunch and went, ooh. And he forgot his password. To shut it off, to say, oh yeah, it's not really a drill. The guy forgot his password.
Oh my gosh.
So everybody on the island, people were putting their children in sewers because it was going to be it was going to be a blast. And it was, so when it was all over, everybody was laughing and everything. Believe me, nobody was laughing for that 38 minutes. Everybody was fairly terrified.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And now I look forward to that album.
Yeah. Well, I figured I'm going to go from one paradise to another one, so.
Hi.
Hello.
Great.
Thank you. I've been raised on your music, and my mother has been a fan since she was 6 years old, so I know she's going to be super nervous, but I'd like to give her my spot in line so she can ask you. Okay?
That's so sweet. Thank you. That's very
Mom,
nice.
come on up, Mom.
She's going to be really nervous.
Don't be nervous, Mom. That's so sweet.
Yes, I raised her on your music.
And she turned out fine. Look, she's got red hair.
I don't know about this one. I blame you for that. I was raised on your music, and it's always been there for me, so thank you. But I am a Christian, but I love the hard rock, the mean rock. How do you introduce more Christianity? It's like, I find bands that they start out good, but then they get a little too carried away with the Satanism.
Well, it's one of the things I don't go up there to preach. I go there to, first of all, you're never going to see any politics in my show. My job is to take you away from politics. And really, a real Christian's job is to live the life. You know, I mean, I'm an actor, I'm a musician, and I do what I do on stage to entertain the audience. And I'm fairly careful about what my subject matter is and how I do it. But it never ever said that I couldn't be a rock star. You know, I mean, there's a freedom in Christianity that you can follow him. In my life, I do. My wife is a prayer warrior. I mean, she's amazing. Yeah. But we get on stage and we scare the hell out of people, you know. But all in good fun, you know. I think people have fun with what we do, and I don't think they take it seriously. When I first came out, oh, I was son of Satan. I mean, I was like every 700 Club was ripping up my albums on TV, and, you know, and all this stuff. And I guess they hadn't really listened to the lyrics because there was a lot of lyrics warning against allowing a satanic thing in your life. You know, I was never promoting it. I was always kind of, but you know, I can understand with my image how it looked and everything like that. So I think that your lifestyle is your testimony, really. You know, and everything else is. I just happen to be a singer and a rocker and a theatrical one. You know.
Thank you. Bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And I love that, because when you go to the, you know, when you speak of keeping politics away from your performances, when you go to the stage or the theater or to a concert, you want to be entertained. It's suspension of disbelief.
You know, it gets to the point now, well, and this is backfiring on a lot of people. A lot of people don't like Trump. Okay, I get it, you know, and a lot of things he does is just like, wow, you just shut up. You know? Do your job and just shut up. But a lot of the TV shows are now becoming the bully. He's becoming the underdog. They've turned it around now so that people are going to start defending him because the show has now become the bully. They've switched positions. You got to be very careful about that. You know, yeah, it's easy to pick on politicians, and most of them should be picked on, you know. But when it's so much that you get to a point where I can't even watch this show anymore because it's nothing but a Trump joke, you know, that's when it goes too far. You actually lose your edge doing that, you know. So, anyways, you're never going to see politics. When we did, during the election, I had a big hit song called "The Elected," called "I Want to Be Elected," 1972. And every year there's election, we bring out the two candidates. We had Trump come out, and we had Hillary come out, and they were zombies, you know. And they would come out in the middle of the stage, and they would introduce them, and they would look at each other, and he kind of like patted her on the butt, and she turns around and decks him, and at the end they look at each other, and there's this big passionate kiss. And the audience goes, "Oh!" And that's as political as we got with it. We didn't pick one over the other. We just said they're both ridiculous, you know. But other than that, I'm not trying. I don't have an agenda on stage. I don't have any kind of agenda up there. It's just have fun with the Alice Cooper show, and you know that's really what it is.
And people do have fun.
That's it. That's all I want.
I thought it was interesting you talked about the 700 Club and burning the records. They had to buy them to burn them, so whatever you want to do with it. Back in the 80s, you did the Decline of the Western Civilization, and you made a comment that music was designed to corrupt the youth enough to think. Stepping aside from Alice, what would Vincent say 20 years later?
Well, I think any art is supposed to challenge you. You know, when you go into a Holiday Inn and you see, you know, a piece of art on the wall and it's just nothing, and you go, you know, and then you see a Salvador Dali painting that makes you go, what? What is wrong with this guy? Or, you know, any art, theater, music, actual paintings, sculpture, if it makes you go, I don't know how I feel about that. That's good. That's what art should do. It should be pleasing, but at the same time, it should also challenge you. You know, I don't know about it attacking the youth. I think the youth are a lot smarter than we think they are. You know, I think it's a great trick to play dumb, but not to be dumb. You know, and kids are a lot smarter than you give them credit for, especially now. They're much more worldly than they ever were. But I think art should attack you and make you think. And you don't have to like it. And a lot of stuff you do like, and you go, oh, I love that. Why? I don't know. That's a good answer, by the way, when somebody says, why do you like that? I don't know.
Just respond.
I just like it. I don't think rock pollutes the youth. I think it's like a good outlet, because every kid's got hormones raging in their life, and they have to get it out somewhere. If it's dance, let them dance. If it's this, let them, Being in a band's the best thing in the world if you're a teenager, because you get to go on stage and just blow it out, And at 70, I'm still blowing it out. I get up on stage and I just, I get done with the show and I go, oh, that felt good.
Yeah.
It's like throwing up,
That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Hi.
First, I just want to say thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And then my teenage years were really horrible because they were teenage years.
Yes.
I read the Marilyn Manson book, autobiography, Long Hard Road Out of Hell, and I have it and I love it.
Yeah.
How much influence do you think you had in helping Brian Warner become who he is as Marilyn Manson, the persona? I've read where, he got introduced through Trent Reznor and how all that became about. How much influence did you have thereafter with working with Brian and helping develop that even more in depth?
But Marilyn and I had a jousting sort of thing, because when he first came out, I went, okay, a guy with makeup with a girl's name. I wish I would have thought of that. And he became the new Alice Cooper, which I totally got. I totally understood that. He was the Alice Cooper for that generation. And now he had to challenge the parents and the society on a new level. I'm a priest for the Satanic Church and this, and I do every drug there is, and he became totally, really an outlaw, true outlaw. Very stylish one though. Very stylish. He really had a great sense of style and a good sense of humor. Now, when I announced that I was Christian, he suddenly said, I hate Alice Cooper, because now he stands for everything I hate and all this. We had never met. We jousted in the press back and forth. So, there we are in Transylvania.
All places.
I swear. And there's a pop festival, and Alice Cooper and Marilyn Manson. And I'm in my dressing room, and I'm getting ready to go on, and this guy walks by, puts his head in. Can I come in? It's Marilyn. I said, sure, come on in. We sat down, and we talked about marriage. Because he had just gotten a divorce from Dita Von
Teese.
Yes. And he was broken up about it. I thought it was one of those marriages that was a Hollywood marriage or anything like that. And I was going on my 35th or 36th anniversary. We talked about marriage the whole time. We didn't talk about, we're in Transylvania, there's Castle Dracula and all that. And it was a really interesting conversation. That's what it ended up talking about. Then we toured together and got a whole different thing. He was so respectful of the Alice Cooper thing that I think for the whole tour, he got straight. And his whole touring troupe went, what's going on? He's out shooting baskets with, because he was sober. And I said, if you want to come on stage and do 18 with me, it'd be great. But you gotta be sober. And every night he'd come up and I'd throw him a crutch, he'd do 18 together. And I think we really got along very, very well for that whole tour. So we're still probably miles apart theologically. But I like him. I think he's a very smart guy. He's good at what he does, a work in progress. And at the end of the tour, I handed him a Bible. I said, don't spindle it or eat it. He said, I was raised on this, except it was shoved down my throat. And I really rebelled against it. And he said, but I know a lot more about this. I said, I know, I get it. We're still really good friends. Marilyn and I are good friends. And Johnny Depp is sort of our middle guy. He's, Johnny is sort of his best friend, and he's in my band, and Johnny is sort of the guy in the middle. But I like Marilyn. Man, he's okay.
I'd like to see the three of you on the golf course.
Oh, that will never happen. And they threatened to do it. They actually said, maybe we should start playing golf. I went, no. Bad idea. Johnny's another guy that's a really interesting guy. People think that he's a movie star trying to be a guitar player. He's a guitar player who became a movie star. Joe Perry from Aerosmith is our other guitar player in the Vampires. And Joe Perry sometimes takes guitar lessons from Johnny.
Wow.
That's how good Johnny is. And right now, they're both writing for the new album right now in LA. I just listened to some of the stuff, and we all write together, for the new album. But you're talking about a couple of really good guitar players right there. And so don't ever sell Johnny short on the guitar. He's played with McCartney, he's played with the Stones, he's played with everybody. So he's the real deal.
Wow. And great question. Thank you so much. All right, we have time for one more question over here.
Okay, so I have a question. Would you ever consider performing or doing a tour or maybe a duet with someone who I consider to be your female counterpart, which would be Maria Brink from In This Moment?
Who's that?
Maria Brink from In This Moment?
Yeah, I know who she is, yeah. I would do a duet with anybody. I think that music is like clay. You shape it. I could sit down and probably do a duet with Engelbert Humperdinck. Or Iggy, or anybody. I've done a lot of duets with a lot of different people, because you find a common ground. You find somewhere in the middle that you could both go to and make it real. You can't fake it. In other words, I wouldn't change Alice Cooper to adapt to him. He wouldn't change to adapt to me, but we would find something in the middle. Of course that's an extreme thing. But yeah, I would, gladly do something with her. Gaga would be fun to work with. She gave me an autograph one time, and it said, "Dear Alice, thank you for letting me steal your show." She's really something. Gaga is great. She's very creative. That girl is the real
Incredibly
deal.
talented.
Very talented girl. She's on every level. One of the most talented ones out there. She started out being a bit of a joke. People went, "Oh, who is this?" And proved herself.
Well, then she did that duet with Elton John.
Not just that, she did Tony Bennett.
Well,
and
yeah.
then she did Julie Andrews on the Academy Awards show, and everybody went, "What? Is that the same insane woman that did, So, she's the real deal.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Great question to end on. And I can't believe our hour is over, but it is.
It is. Wow.
Did you guys enjoy yourselves?
We do this all the time, so
You're here all weekend?
here all weekend, here till Sunday, so stop on by and
Yeah, make sure you stop by, and please, one more big round of applause for Alex.